If you are in the United States and you're worried about the new BRICS currency, I need you all to watch this video right now.
And we will keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency, and it is currently under major siege. Many countries are leaving the dollar. They're not going to leave the dollar with me. I'll say, you leave the dollar. You're not doing business with the United States because we're going to put 100% tariff on your goods.
And what happens when the world says, yo, US, these tariffs, boof, are playing way too much. We want off the ride. We don't want to be dependent on you anymore.
For a better future for Africa, some of you that want to come to Africa, pray to God. If the BRICS currency is stronger than the dollar, there is no reason why a black person would want to stay in a racist country in Europe or in America. You will come back to the continent and live large. Large. Because guess what? Now the white man has nothing on you. Let that sink in.
So, my child's father is from Jamaica. And he used to tell me that it used to be $100 to get a loaf of bread in Jamaica. The crime rate in Jamaica now is so dangerous, they're at a level 3 travel advisory. I was raised by Haitians, and Haiti right now has a 0 travel advisory because of how poor the country is and how dangerous it is. That as soon as you get off the airport in Port-au-Prince, they'll try to kidnap you for ransom if you're from the United States. I want to explain to every United States citizen how we are so spoiled and entitled and have any audacity to be angry about BRICS. These countries are forming a revolution against colonialism, capitalism, and clear supremacy from the United States and Europe, taking their natural resources and profiting and putting their countries in third world conditions. $100 Jamaican money in the US, 100 Jamaican dollars equals 60 cents. 1,000 Jamaican dollars is $6.46 American. Please let that sink in. So if you have $6.46 in US dollars, you have 1,000 Jamaican dollars. 1 US dollar equals $154.31 Jamaican dollars. This is August 21st, 2023. So this is now. And you're complaining about 1 BRICS being the equivalent to 55 US dollars? We're complaining? Haitian gourd? I might not be pronouncing that right. Forgive me. I'm white. But 1 US dollar is the equivalent to $135.46. Well, I'm not saying dollars. 135.46 Haitian gourds. $1 in Haiti is equivalent to 135. It takes 135 Haitian gourds to equal 1 US dollar. Since Brazil is joining BRICS, let's talk about Brazil. How much is 100 US in Brazil? 100 United States dollars equals 493.89 Brazilian reals. Let that sink in. 1,000 US dollars is the equivalent to almost 5,000 Brazilian reals. That is insane. It kind of makes sense why they would want to join BRICS, because we're complaining about conditions that these countries across the entire world, aside from Europe and the United States, and I'm not talking about Eastern Europe / Asia, Russia, because we'll get into that. This one's really going to get hit hard since Africa is also joining BRICS, and they're the start of the global revolution against the United States and Europe's corruption of stealing oil and natural resources from these countries, leaving them in terrible conditions. 100 US dollars in Nigeria is equivalent to 75,813 in Nigerian currency. 50 US dollars is the equivalent to 37,906. And we're complaining that 1 BRICS is going to be the equivalent of 55 US dollars. You're really panicking? It takes 762 Nigerian dollars to be the equivalent of 1 US dollar. That's almost $800 to equal $1 US. And we're complaining that one BRICS is going to cost us $55 US when in Nigeria, it's about $800, and Africa's the one with the natural resources that we're stealing and profiting from and putting their currency in this position. I told you we were going to get into Russia since they're also one of the countries who are on board with BRICS. $1 US is the equivalent to almost 100 rubles, 100 Russian rubles. And again, we're complaining that one BRICS is going to be $55 US. 100 United States dollars is the equivalent to almost 10,000 Russian rubles. 10,000 Russian rubles gets you 100 US dollars. Now, I want this all to sink in and marinate about when you're complaining about how bad our country's going to get because of BRICS and how we're going to be living in third world conditions. Our spoiled, entitled asses. These countries have been living like this for a very long time, and it's our fault. It's us in Europe's fault. They were trying to run a pipeline of oil through Africa, and they said no. Julius Malema is going to go down in history for starting a global revolution. Guess what? Unfortunately, the United States and Europe's chickens are coming home to roost. And guess what? We're going to be just fine. Because if everybody else has to endure those living conditions because of us so we can live comfortable here, how dare we get upset? How dare we? This is a global revolution of continents who are sick and tired of the corruption of the United States, the theft, the colonialism. They're tired. And they want to be able to live just as well that we have been living our entire lives. They're trying to make things fair. They're not trying to make life hard for us. They're trying to make it fair for them. And we have a problem with that?
I'm very much a traditionalist. I like staying with the dollar. You know that from when I was there. It's make the dollar the choice. I hate when countries go off the dollar. I would not allow countries to go off the dollar, because when we lose that standard, that will be like losing a revolutionary war. That will be a hit to our country, just like losing a war. And we can't let that happen. And too many countries now are fighting to get off the dollar.
In actual sense, what she's trying to say is, if you are tired of seeing Africa being promoted as the third world continent, you must support the BRICS. If you are tired of UNICEF and the World Food Program using kids in their adverts to advertise African poor kids to the whites, you must support the BRICS. In other words, if you are tired of every year American singers redoing the song, "We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones to make a better day, so let's start giving." They're giving to who? Africa, because Africa is what? Is poor. If you are tired of seeing that song being done every single year to go and collect money, it's like begging. It's like, you understand what I mean? Then you must support the BRICS. If you are tired, if you're from the UK and you are tired of that band-aid nonsense, that every year that they even want to use ODG, an African person, to jump on the Band-Aid commercial that promotes Africa as poor. And you know that Band-Aid nonsense pisses me off the most, because lately they were telling Fuse ODG and a singer from Ghana to come and jump on a song that white people sing to advertise how Africa is poor, that it's almost Christmas, we need to start collecting money for poor African kids. Imagine. You must support the BRICS. See, if you are tired of what's happening in Congo, you must support the BRICS. If you are tired of what's happening in Sudan, you must support the BRICS. Y'all understand the depth? That's why he is afraid of the BRICS. See, if the BRICS currency comes into action, that's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. If the BRICS currency comes into place and Americans will have to pay $55, over $50 to get one BRIC currency, do you know what that means? It means power to the Africans. It means power to the people. It means power to those that have been colonized, power to those that we have squeezed, like she said. I hope you understand what I mean. So when you see a leader against the BRICS, I understand it just makes sense because, of course, America has been the superpower on planet Earth and they will want to stay the superpower. And of course, as a president who loves his country, he would want his currency to stay on top. But y'all must understand, China and Russia, they have come into a conclusion that we want to weaken America. And you know what that means? There were black people in America decided to boycott Walmart. Hashtag FAFO, F around and find out. Yeah. You see what black people did there to make sure they hit Walmart where it hurt the most? And that's the wallet. The black dollar spoke loudly by doing nothing. Black people spoke by doing nothing but staying in their houses and not giving their black dollar to Walmart. See it that way. That BRICS is trying to say we're gonna hit you where it hurts the most. And America is not a superpower if it does not have a strong currency. The more America is a superpower and has a stronger currency, the more a Ugandan right now pays 3,750 shillings. 3,750 shillings, it can even be above, check it, to get $1. This is why you find us in Africa, if we are to be paid for someone to be paid a job and then you feel like they have elevated in life, guess how much they get in my country? $300. If you can, I tell you, if you can be able to earn $300 a month in my country, you have made it in life. Now, I know you're watching this and you're like, Esther, but that girl, that can't even afford my groceries. That's too cheap for even my groceries. You see how you're asking that yourself that even 300 is not enough for you to buy groceries alone? Now, that's what a person can make in my country. And we start looking at that person that they have made it in life. Like as in from poverty to you're entering the class of I'm earning money. Because guess what? $300 equals to 1 million Ugandan shillings in my country. You know what that means? Anytime an African American is going to come, anytime a white man comes to Africa, they know their currency is stronger, so they're going to pay you less. You understand? Do you get where we're going? Because they know that, come on now, in America, they pay you how much? $8 to $15 per hour? Yeah? Yeah. You see that $8 to $15 per hour, and you work like 8 days, 8 hours a day. That's like what? $80 plus 40, that's like $120 a day or above. Actually, damn. 10, snap. That's a lot. If you earn in dollars, like, because you guys get paid like per hour, like you can make an African, even the poorest person in America earns better than me in my country. Because my salary in my country is $600. Actually, not even $600. It's like around 500 something. Yeah. So if the BRICS goes ahead and does this, it's gonna mean power to the people. We're gonna benefit from our resources. Now, you cannot come and bully us into selling you our minerals just because the dollar is powerful. And Americans are clever. And shout out to them because they've made America a superpower. If people don't understand why America is a superpower, look at the dollar. Y'all understand any exchange is done by a dollar. Let me give you an example. I, a Ugandan. No, actually not I, a Ugandan. When I was in South Africa and I wanted to send money to my family back home in Uganda, if I had 10,000 rands, 10,000 rands is like 2 million Ugandan shillings. 2 million Ugandan shillings is like 600 US dollars. So here's the thing. I will have to go to the foreign exchange, change my South African rands first to dollars. You understand what we're getting? I can't send straight from rands and a person like to get shillings. No. I have to first go and they convert money and take it into dollars. I have to pay for the exchange rate for it to be. And remember, the more you exchange money, it loses its value. You get the gist now? The more you exchange your African money to make sense to an American dollar, because the American dollar is powerful than your currency, the more your money back home lose its value. So if I change from South African rands to the dollar, already the money has lowered itself, and then I have to change from the dollar to my currency, so that now the person back home has to, yeah. The BRICS currency happening, it's a revolutionary step for the continent of Africa. Leave alone Russia, leave alone China, leave alone Brazil, leave alone India. See, if you are tired of crying on the internet that, oh, Africans are poor. So you wonder, you guys don't understand how deep this is. Why do majority of, let's say, African Americans, because I always rant here, I want African Americans, because I always rant here, I want African Americans to come to Africa. Why do you think majority of African Americans have a picture of Africa being poor? You know what makes a country poor? If you want to see what makes a country poor, let the American dollar lose its value. That's where we will call an inflation for real. America will become poor if their money loses value. So that is why Africa is called the third world countries, impoverished countries, because our currency is shit. The reason why you fear coming to Africa is because you know our currency doesn't make sense, so we are hungry for money. You think we will even rob from you. And that is where the white man has hit the most, to market Africa as a begging country, because they have nothing. They could be having the resources, but you can just splash $1 inside in front of their eyes and they will grab it because they're hungry for it, because it has power. Africa is not safe. Africa is third world. Africa, they walk with lions. They don't even have money to buy skyscrapers to build them. Because immediately you're going to know, why would I want to go to a country so poor? Because even their currency is poor. That's what makes a country poor. You understand what I mean? Yeah. And you know who understood that? In the very first beginning, the Arabs. Let me hit where it hurts the most. Which country on planet Earth has the highest currency? I am 29 years right now. I went to the Middle East in the UAE when I was 27. And all my life, I used to think the country with the highest and strongest currency is USA. So I knew the British pound and the euro, they had a better value than the US dollar when I could like think of changing money. But power is the US dollars. When I took a flight to Kuwait, that's when I learned the Kuwaiti dinar is the strongest currency on planet Earth. I bet a lot of you don't know that. The Kuwaiti dinar is the strongest currency on planet Earth. But what's the power of the Kuwaiti dinar? That is one thing the white man has understood. This is why the BRICS want to hurt where it hurts the most. Anytime you hear that it is wrong for the BRICS to exist, indirectly you are saying, I want Africans to die in poverty. Yeah.
The global economy cannot be based on an isolationist country that isn't interested in doing business with other countries. America first, America, 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 go America. What makes you think other countries then turn around and say, yes, their instability calls to me. Please, let our economy be dependent on their instability. Please. Come on. U.S. citizens have not considered how bad it could get. The shell shock of not having the U.S. dollar as the basis for the global economy, prices, labor, wages, investments, travel, literally the world would shift under our feet. And it's not far off. Countries have been preparing themselves for a moment like this since 2008 when we crashed our economy the first time. The first time since the global economy, at least.
Let's talk about the BRICS. I want to introduce you something else. Here's what they're not telling you, is that one BRICS dollar, one BRICS dollar is equivalent to 57 USD. So Donald Trump is saying that he is going to put 100% tariffs on BRICS nations, but their dollar is worth $57. Listen, Donnie, I don't think your math is mathing, because they could pay 500% and still turn a profit. There you have it, Donnie.
If a country tells me, sir, we like you very much, but we're going to no longer adhere to being in the reserve currency, we're not going to salute the dollar anymore, I'll say that's okay. And you're going to pay a 100% tariff on everything you sell into the United States. And we love your product. I hope you sell a lot of it into the United States, but you're going to pay 100% tariff. He will then follow it up by saying, sir, it would be an honor to stay with the reserve currency. That will be like just playing. That's not even chess, that's checkers. But you don't have other, listen to this, you don't have other people that can talk that way.
If you put tariffs on China, prices will go up. Donald Trump did exactly that. Manufacturing came back and prices went down for American citizens.
This is not true. After the series of tariffs passed in 2018, U.S. consumer prices for affected goods rose. Boom, boom, and boom. This is in contrast to the Chinese and non-Chinese goods that were not affected by the tariffs. And then China responded with retaliatory tariffs, and that affected our export prices. American producers and farmers had to lower their selling price to China in order to compete. Source: after doing a little bit of math and science, they find that tariffs exhibited nearly complete pass-through to the consumer. The incidence of the tariff lies largely with the United States. This is not an isolated result. Another paper here looked at the large 20% tariff placed on all imported washing machines. They found that the price of washers and dryers rose after the tariff, that's the red and blue line, and this is in comparison with other large appliances which did not see a price rise, the refrigerators in green and dishwashers in yellow. Some might be saying, hey, I'll pay those prices if it means saving U.S. jobs. Okay, I'm sympathetic to that goal, but is this the best way to do that? Washing machines became more expensive, and that resulted with a total cost to consumers of $1.5 billion every year. We can divide that by the number of domestic jobs that might have been saved, and we find a cost of roughly $900,000 per job. Now, where did that money go? Not to the workers. They were making a salary a tenth of that. It mostly just vanishes into thin air. Less trade means less efficiency. Tariffs gum up our production processes. Throwing a wrench into the machine to save a mechanic's job is not a path to sustainable prosperity. In fact, once we take into account all the effects of the retaliatory tariffs, this paper finds that U.S. manufacturing experiences reduction in employment and increases in producer prices. And you can see the picture here. Less employment and higher prices. A recent paper looked at the counties that were affected by the trade war. Protectionist tariffs didn't save any jobs, and then the retaliatory tariffs had a clear negative employment impact. There's a reason why economists from all different political backgrounds agree that tariffs are borne by the consumers.